This video is for Algebra, Section 8.4, Polynomials. The learning goal for today, the learner will apply knowledge of polynomials to identify them, find their degree, and arrange them in ascending and descending order. Our vocabulary for today is polynomial. A polynomial is a monomial or a sum of monomials, so just monomials that are added together. There are two specific types of polynomials that you can identify. Actually, there's three, but monomial we already know is one monomial. Binomial is the sum of two monomials. Trinomial is the sum of three monomials. So those would look something like 2x plus 4, or 2x plus 3y plus 1. So that would be a binomial, that's a trinomial. Finding a degree. There are two different types. You can find it for a monomial and for a polynomial. They're a little bit different. For a monomial, it's just the sum of the exponents of all its variables. So if I had something like 2x squared y to the third, these are my variables. 2 plus 3 is 5. My degree for that monomial is 5. For the degree of a polynomial, the degree of the monomial term with the highest degree. So if I had that plus 3y plus 4x to the third y to the fourth, you would have to find the degree for each term. So for this one, it's 2 plus 3, that's 5. This one's just a 1, so it's 1. And 3 plus 4, 7. 7's my biggest one, so the degree of that polynomial is 7. Alright, you will also need to know what ascending and descending mean. They're going to ask you to put numbers in ascending order. That means from the least to the greatest. In other words, going up. Descending means from greatest to least, going down. Prerequisite skills, you need to know what monomials are before you can do this. You need to be able to add so you can find those degrees. And you need to be able to order numbers so you know which ones are greater and which ones are less. Alright, moving on to the problems. Number 1 on study guide. It says, state whether the expression is a polynomial. If the expression is a polynomial, identify it as a monomial, binomial, or trinomial. Number 1 is 36. Yeah, that's a monomial, so monomial. We've already dealt with those. It's just one number. Number 3, you have 7x minus x plus 5. Is that the sum of monomials? Yeah, all those things are monomials. So that is a polynomial. There are 3 terms, so it is a trinomial. Number 5, there are 3 terms, but that first term has a variable in the denominator, and if you remember from the lesson about monomials, that doesn't work. You can't have a variable in the denominator. Okay, so that is not a polynomial at all. On to number 7. Number 7, you have 4x squared y to the third z. Put a 1 on that z so you don't forget about it. I need to find the degree, so just add the exponents. 2 plus 3 plus 1, which is 6. Make sure you are showing your work if you want any credit. Number 9, we have 15m. Well, there's a 1 on that m. It's the only exponent we have, so it's just 1. Number 11 is 22. There are no variables, so it has a degree of 0. Number 13, got x to the fourth minus 6x squared minus 2x to the third minus 10. Well, I need to find all these degrees and see which one's biggest. This is a 4, this is a 2, this is a 3, and this is a 0. The biggest one is a 4, so my answer is 4. Number 15, it's a long one. Negative 2r to the 8th, s to the 4th, plus 7r squared s minus 4r to the 7th, s to the 6th. Same thing, there are 3 terms. I need to find the degree of each one. So 8 plus 4 gave me 12. 2 plus 1 is 3. 7 plus 6 is 13. So the biggest one is 13. Number 17, we have 8b plus bc to the 5th. Don't forget the 1 on that b. That's just a 1 because it's only a 1. 1 plus 5 gives me 6, so 6. Number 19, we have 4x squared minus 1. So that's got the second power. This has no powers, so it's 2. Number 21, You have h to the third m. You can put the 1 there if you want. 6h to the fourth m to the second minus 7. 3 plus 1 gave me a 4. 4 plus 2 is a 6. And this doesn't have any variables. 6 is the biggest one, so the degree is 6. Alright. On to the second page of the study guide. This is where you'll have to put things in ascending and descending order. So number 1, they want us to put these in ascending order. So they have a 5x plus x squared plus 6. Ascending means least to greatest. So it's the least value of x I have. Well, 6 doesn't have any, so that's the least. Then I have the 1x, and then I have the x to the second power. That's ascending order. Number 3, we have 4xy plus 2y plus 6x squared. Make sure it only says the powers of x in ascending order, so we don't care about the y's. They don't matter. That means this one doesn't have any x's, so it goes first. This has power of 1, power of 2. So that's ascending. Number 5, you have x to the fourth plus x to the third plus x squared. They're exactly backwards. Lowest power, next lowest, highest. Number 7, we have negative 5cx plus 10c squared x to the third plus 15cx squared. Again, it's very important that that c doesn't matter at all. So our lowest power of x, this one only has 1x, that's the lowest. That one has 2 x's, so what would come next? And the last one has 3 x's. Well, x to the third power, I should say. Number 9. 4xy plus 2y plus 5x squared. This one doesn't have any x's, so that comes first. It has the power of 1, and that has the power of 2. Okay, those are all of our ascending. Descending is basically backwards. So we're going to put the highest power first, going to the lowest power. So number 11, we have 20x minus 10x squared plus 5x to the third. Alright, so the highest power I have is the third power, so 5x to the third. Next power would be 10x squared, and then 20x. Make sure that negative stays with the right term. Sometimes it helps people to put plus negative, so don't forget. Number 13, we have 9bx plus 3bx squared minus 6x to the third. Again, we're only looking at the x's. Nobody cares about the b's. Highest power of x is x to the third. Don't forget that this is a negative. Negative 6x to the third. Then the next one will be x squared, and then bx. Number 15, we have ax squared plus 8a squared x to the fifth minus 4. Highest power of x is 5. So 8a squared x to the fifth. Next power, x squared, and then no x's, so minus 4. Number 17, x to the fourth, 4x to the third, 7x to the fifth, plus 1. Highest power I see is the fifth. Make sure it's a negative 7x to the fifth. Then the x to the fourth, 4x to the third, and then the 1. Number 19, negative 15cx squared plus 8c squared x to the fifth plus cx. Highest power of x is the fifth, so 8c squared x to the fifth. Next power will be the squared, negative 15cx squared, and then the cx. And the last problem on this page is negative 15x to the third plus 10x to the fourth y squared plus 7xy squared. Highest power of x is the fourth, so 10x to the fourth y squared. Next power will be the third, so minus 15x to the third. The last one is 7xy squared. And that is the end of section 8.